Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Friday, June 5th, 2015, and it's time to vlog. So let's just jump straight into today's episode because we have a lot to discuss, starting off with anime news. For all the Dragon Ball fans out there, you guys know that a couple weeks back, we learned about Dragon Ball Super, the first animated series based on Dragon Ball in close to 20 freaking years. While we did hear some things regarding the show, like it be getting a companion manga set to drop at the end of this month, we didn't know much about it except the fact that it's coming out this summer. But Toei Animation has confirmed that you're going to be able to check out the first episode of Dragon Ball Super on July 5th, 2015. Which, as I'm sure you can tell already, is pretty freaking sweet. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. This has been something that I have kind of been wanting for a while, but at the same time been equally skeptical about it, considering Toei Animation, well, to be, blunt, has not had the best track record as of late. But I do have faith as a Dragon Ball fan. With Toriyama involved in it, I want to believe. I want to believe that this is actually going to be good. Regardless, we are going to find out on July 5th. They haven't specified whether or not this will be receiving a simulcast over here in the United States or if we're just gonna have to wait for the home media release, but I would assume, considering that this is Dragon Ball, when you have so many sites that don't even cover pop culture, writing articles about Dragon Ball Super coming out, I think it's safe to assume that people are, I think their interest has been, piqued. It's piqued my interest. So they're probably gonna work out a deal with Funimation, Hulu, Crunchyroll, one of the big streaming sites for Dragon Ball Super this summer. Regardless, mark your calendars for early July, my friends. Moving straight into anime-related video games, Konami, has confirmed that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is gonna be making an appearance on the current gen systems in the form of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Okay, I guess. Not to rain on anyone's parade because I hate doing that, but I'm not really too intrigued in Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. I guess I kind of started falling out of the series once they started getting into 5Ds and they started doing synchro summons and all this crazy stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and say that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has devolved as a whole because I don't know the new things that are going on in the game. I don't understand all the new rules and regulations and things that are happening. But my just interest as a whole in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise has pretty much waned after GX came out. Like that, time period is really when I stopped watching the anime. I started getting into the manga more, and that's pretty much been my attachment to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. I haven't really been playing much of the card game. I haven't really collected any of the cards. I've just been more focused on reading the manga for the older series. But I guess this is cool for all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans out there who like playing the video games. I, for one, loved playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games. I clocked in like 300, 400, 500 hours in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Spirit Caller on the Nintendo DS, and I put quite amount of time into Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Decade Duel on the Xbox 360. So I think at some point I'll probably pick this up, but I don't know, I think I've changed as a person when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't really play it too much on my handhelds or my consoles anymore. I think if I was going to play Yu-Gi-Oh! It'd probably be on my smartphone. I think that just works for me and playing with friends. I can easily just make a turn and, wait, a couple of minutes and wait for them to make their turn and, just go from there. That's just something that seems a lot more appealing to me right now, but regardless of that, for all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans out there, check out your PlayStation 4 and Xbox One downloadable services in the near future for the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. And since we are just about a week and a half out from this year's Electronic Entertainment Expo, you're damn well sure we're gonna be hit with a lot of rumors and speculations and industry insider tips and sources, but we are not here to speculate on all those things. Let's just talk about the confirmed stuff. First and foremost, Fallout 4 is now a thing. News that pretty much was expected for the past 2 years, but still managed to shock the internet. I, for one, am just so freaking pumped for the next Fallout game. I was a huge fan of Fallout 3, and I actually am one of the few people who really enjoyed New Vegas. I know New Vegas is kind of like the black sheep of the newer Fallout games, but I really enjoyed playing it. I think Obsidian did a great job. It just really wasn't, technically ready on release. It did have a lot more bugs and glitches than Fallout 3, but nevertheless, they're both really awesome games, and I was actually hoping that Bethesda would go for Fallout 4 as opposed to Elder Scrolls 6, because I'm still finding, a million and one things to do in Skyrim. So if they announce Elder Scrolls 6, I'd be like, man, come on, give me something different to play. And this is what we got with Fallout 4. So yes, awesome, cool, amazing. But in not so amazing news, we gotta talk about something disappointing. We gotta talk about Square Enix, folks. Yes, I know. It's just something that Square does. I mean, it's one step forward, one step amazingly awesome, and then they just shit on everybody's parade with Final Fantasy 15. You know, it's been pretty good for Final Fantasy 15, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, you had that demo come out with Type 0, the main reason why people bought the game. You had, you know, a lot of videos come out that showed us, you know, some interesting and cool stuff. That's great, that's awesome. But two things happened that are pretty disappointing. First and foremost, let's just get the elephant out of the room. Elephant, out of the room, now. Final Fantasy 15 will indeed be skipping this year's E3, which is kind of a bummer, but something I guess that, well, it's not that hard to expect considering Square really does like to skip a lot of their Japanese-focused games and save them for other events. So I assume at this year's event they're probably going to talk about, you know, Rise of the Tomb Raider, probably the next Hitman game, you know, something they got going on with their other studios. But it does kind of suck. However, they did confirm that the game is indeed going to be making an appearance at Gamescom, and we'll probably hear more at the Tokyo Game Show. So I guess it's kind of cool in that respect. However, in something that's not so cool and something that's actually been plaguing Final Fantasy 15's development, Stella, one of the, I guess, more prominently featured characters for the series, is gone. That's it. They've removed her entirely from the story of the game, which is pretty weird, but at the same time, it's not something that is uncommon for 15's development. I mean, when you guys think about this, I know a lot of people are concerned that she's gone from the game now. This game has been in development for almost a decade, so granted, a lot of things were going to change with it. Not just from development staff changes, but from just basic concepts and visions and things that they thought were cool in 2008, 2009, 2010 that, you know, they've reworked and made different in 2015. So I guess they found out with the direction of the story that, hey, we just don't need Stella anymore. We're going to use a different character and we're going to go in a different fashion. Which, you know, I'm actually kind of bummed about because I was liking what I was seeing from it. But at the same time, this is not the only change that Final Fantasy 15 has made. They've made so many changes to the gameplay, so many changes to the world, characters. It's kind of not even the same game anymore. I'm not saying that in a negative way, mind you. It's still at its core the same vision, but a lot of things have changed to accommodate the newer development visions, if you want to get technical with the terminology. So I'm not going to sit here and speculate saying the game is not what I envisioned it was going to be, but I will kind of voice my concerns and say that it's not as interesting as I thought it was back in the day when I first saw the footage. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see when we actually see more stuff about the story instead of just little pieces and snippets that Square Enix has put out for the media. But as a whole, I'm just kind of losing my interest in Final Fantasy 15. I mean, it kind of, you know, spiked up in 2013 when they re-revealed it, but since then it's kind of just been on a rocky road. It's been pretty shaky, and I don't know, man. I just don't know. In other news that kind of took the industry by surprise, but at the same time was something we all expected for a while. In the era of HD collections and remasters and, well, re-releases, to say the least, the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection has been confirmed by Sony Computer Entertainment. It was actually something that leaked a couple of hours beforehand, and well, that seems to be the theme of a lot of things happening nowadays. They leak on the PlayStation Store, they leak on some website, and well, shit, we can't ignore it now. This October, PlayStation 4 fans will be able to experience the Uncharted trilogy with Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Among Thieves, and Drake's Deception in one package on one Blu-ray disc in 1080p, smooth, buttery 60 FPS for $59.59. Sounds like an amazing deal, right? Awesome, great, cool, not so cool. Really? Why? I'll tell you why. As a person who was such a big fan of Uncharted 2 in particular, Uncharted 2 is my favorite game in the franchise. Best story overall in my opinion, but there was something about the game that still had me playing it to this day, and that is the multiplayer. Uncharted 2 had multiplayer that just took me by surprise. It was just something that was just a lot of fun. It was very basic, very simple, nothing crazy, nothing flashy. But it was fun, and it was something that I got on with my bros and I played at least once a week, all the time. the multiplayer is not going to be included in the re-release of the games, which pretty much bums me out, and it kind of just defeats the purpose of me picking up this collection because I love the Uncharted games. It's a really awesome franchise, and I think a lot of people, you know, owe it to themselves to play it if they call themselves Sony fans. However, this just kind of bothers me because it was such a good multiplayer, and it's something I think can get people excited for number 4. I mean, I understand, I get it. The metrics, the analysis, the bar graphs, the pie charts, how this collection is made for newcomers in the series because Wii owners and Xbox owners, first time owning a PlayStation 4, yada yada yada, bing bang boom, I understand that. But at the same time, to play devil's advocate, actually not even to play devil's advocate, to play Salty's advocate, because I'm freaking salty as fudge, as you can't tell already, they were able to bring over Ratchet & Clank 3, Up Your Arsenal, to the PlayStation 3 in high definition and still keep the online. Like, I don't understand how they couldn't do this for Uncharted, which is a premier franchise, man. I mean, I get it, all right? I understand that that's the exception, that's not the rule, but at the same time, I'm Salty McGee up in here, so I just, it kind of sucks. But regardless, it's still gonna be a great collection for people, great value built into this, and it's something that I can recommend for people to play, as opposed to something like God of War 3 Remastered, which is almost full price for just one game. Really now? So yeah, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, comes out this October. I'm salty about no online, but hey, still a thing. And just to touch on this real quick, for all the people out there who are saying that the reason they delayed Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, was to accommodate the HD collection, guys, please wear protective gear when you step outside the house. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And that's where we're gonna end today's vlog, ladies and gentlemen. My name is NGS. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Post your comments down below in the video description. Let me know what you want me to talk about on next week's vlog. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.